So, I don't know about all of you. I love DevOps until I don't. Right? We've all had the experience. Vendors, tools, practices, words, coworkers. I want us all to just agree that this is a safe space for me to say whatever I want. Okay. And in return, hopefully I will entertain you. Just a reminder, there's zero content in this talk. Zero content. So sit back. First thing when Jordan came and said, like, you should do a thing about DevOps, I was like, what is DevOps? Like, does anybody know? Like, it's a job, it's a title, it's a movement, it's a source of frustration, the reason I have to talk to my therapist once a week. Whatever DevOps is, it started. It's like we're going to bring the ops and the dev together, right, in harmony. We're all going to start working together. They're going to make monitors. We're going to make tests. Everything's going to go great. We're going to do everything together. Unless it's 3 a.m., then it's just ops. And we all know what happens when the developers announce triumphantly that they've chosen Ruby. 3 a.m. Let's talk about MySQL. Remember this key choice that you had to make before, which now Amazon has politely made for you? It's been 10 years. I checked on this just last month, or actually in January, 10 years since Oracle has owned MySQL by way of Sun. And so just about done rebranding it from a free janky bloatware to paywall protected janky bloatware. Amazing. But it's okay. We have MariaDB, right? And they called Oracle. They want their customers back. Just kidding. Nobody's ever paid for MySQL, right? Raise your hand if you're paying for MySQL. Good. No suckers in the room. Well done. But it's great because Oracle has figured out how to make money. They put the bug tracker behind a paywall, and they're literally making hundreds of dollars on that right now. How about Postgres? All right, I know all of my Postgres fans are here. I'm sorry that no one cares about your database. I'm sorry. It's great. It's just as good as MySQL was 10 years ago. It's really awesome. Remember when Postgres was the best database? Me neither. It's okay. My favorite thing about the Postgres community is just how like they're holding it in, like, someone chose MySQL today. I know it happened. Especially rough because that happens every day. Who's using Kubernetes? All right, we'll meet at the bar later. It's the best way to find a DevOps vendor to get rid of all your extra budget. It's okay though, Google made it, so you know it scales. And what could possibly go wrong using something that's modeled after a thing they called Borg? By they, I mean the company that has millions of microphones in all of our homes. We totally should trust them to run this project. But it's going to be okay. It totally protects all your secrets with base 64. And it's written in Golang. That's the joke. Think I'm kidding. All right, you knew this was coming. All right. Who else is chained to AWS? Yeah, they're a benevolent master. Right? And I'm sure especially Elastic is really enjoying also paying them money to take their companies. It's okay. Elastic, Mongo, Reddit, they all called AWS. They'd like them to stop competing with them so they can get rich too. I imagine, somebody at Elastic Management finally, after all of this, was like, tell me about what's this Apache license thing we used? How does it work? And I just imagine some Silicon Valley executive who's been working for 20 years, making money, just hand over fist in the infrastructure business, is first time reading it, just, oh no. We have to get this back. Somebody call the investors. It's okay though. Every time I see a press release from AWS, I'm pretty sure this is the one that they finally replaced me with a service. I don't mean like DevOps or Director of Infrastructure. I mean me. It's like AWS SoCal Geek Dad. Like it'll let you do everything that people do for reasonable salary, but only as long as you want to pay for it. Like you can post to /snark and get a joke, or go to /talk and get a C+ grade lightning talk for scale. Fetch from /opinions and expect a long list of rants, or put affection into /father and get nothing back. Adorable, right? This is so, they're trying so hard, Google Cloud. Who's anybody have the pleasure? It's really great. Go check it out. They got the cutest console. Who's doing serverless? Anybody excited about this? I don't know why you're so excited. This is terrifying. What are we going to do when there's no servers? What are we going to operate? All right, nobody's going to make the joke. That's going to be really comforting. That joke's going to be really comforting when we're all huddled around a burning trash can, remembering the good old days before Microsoft and Amazon replaced us with robots. We'll laugh the same way Hillary Clinton laughs when she hears "Hail to the Chief." Safe space for me. GitHub. Everybody loves GitHub. I gotta say, I love the people who work at GitHub. Just gonna move on from there, but it's okay. So all my open source brothers and sisters in the audience, we are blessed because the good Lord Internet has solved where we're gonna put all our code. We can just put it there. And in return, all we had to do was give control of all the open source to Microsoft. What could possibly go wrong? Remember them, right? They're the people that declared war on us. But it's okay. They're super into us now that they figure out they can still get all our code and still not pay us. Ansible. I heard an Ansible whoop. How do we ever SSH without YAML, right? It's cool though. The cool kids who don't run Kubernetes have switched to Ansible from all the other ones. Turns out Luke was right. Like SSH in a for loop. It's pretty much all we do as operators. But I'm just kidding. We all know you're not cool if you run Ansible. You know this. You knew this when you got that little thing for your cell phone that clips to your belt and matches your MSD and beta tester golf shirt, right? But it's okay. We don't have to worry about not having a reason to go to the water cooler. We used to wait for things to compile. Now we wait for them to Ansible. I was running Ansible the other day, and wait, let me Alt-Tab, see if it's done. Stack Overflow. How did we ever live without this magical service? And I say operators hate it when GitHub's down, right? We can't ship code anymore, and the build's done. But devs hate it when Stack Overflow's down because they can't do anything. Oh, Slack. Still waiting for that IRC gateway to come back, right? But it's great that we finally have a place where we can paste all our passwords in PII, right? Just put it in one place, don't have to worry. This is the best answer to what if we wanted to collect intelligence on every single company that uses computers and efficiently serve emojis and GIFs at the same time. Well, folks, that is all the jokes I have written, but we have time. Apparently, there's some kind of thing going around, and some folks have not shown up. So if anybody wants to call out, we can rant. Last chance. I didn't have time to write any jokes for that because I was rewriting everything in Rust. You're welcome. OpenStack. Oh man, I'm not sure I'm ready for that level of disillusion. I have code in OpenStack. I've shipped OpenStack, and OpenStack has shipped me. Continuous everything seems like the pattern, right? CI, CD, I don't know. I'm just continuously worried that we missed something. Like, it's totally okay, right? The developers made the code, they wrote the tests, and they shipped the code all by themselves. It's going to be great. The money's just going to keep flowing. All right, one more. Microservices. That's great. Like, so you had a problem with like communication. You're like, oh, we got this big monolith, and you know, we put all our code in it, and you know, there's like 7 teams all fighting for you know, like commits and merging and stuff. So I know we'll make sure those teams never talk again. That's going to solve our problem. Terraform. I got to be honest. I love Terraform. It's like I've been wondering how it's going to get hired by HashiCorp. Like how like is it going to be Vault? Is it going to be Consul? No, Terraform. I mean, I can't think of anything funny to say about it. It's just so perfect and beautiful, and I don't know. I think I'm going to have to marry Terraform. Azure. I mean, I already did the Microsoft joke. I'm just going to do it again. It's service mesh. I mean, what I was thinking, I was like setting up Kubernetes. I was like, how could I get more YAML into this? Like how could I get more lines of Golang and more lines? I know, Istio. Like, I need some Istio. It's just way too simple without that. I'll keep doing this till they drag me off stage, folks. Puppet. I mean, I think I was the one person who didn't think Puppet was a good idea. Just to me, I was like furiously writing for loops with SSH in them, and then I read Luke Knie's post, said that's bad, and I pretty much just wrote him off at that point. And then, I don't know, 10 years later, I was in charge of maintaining 17,000 lines of Puppet. And luckily, I didn't jump off the building, but I can't tell you how much I don't want to run Puppet ever again. Node? This is the single best idea DevOps development, computer science has come up with. Like, we'll call something Java, but it won't be Java. We'll put it in every single web browser, and then we'll put it on our servers, and we'll never think about memory again. It's just throw the memory at the problem. It's cheap now. It's going to be okay. Observability. Yeah, this is great. Like, so we used to SSH into the server and like strace, right? But now we have 17 microservices to do that for us. It's great. We got Grafana, which is basically the only way my team ever presents a demo to the rest of the company, right? Like, look, we made another graph. We've all been. Wow. Those two things, like, my brain can't. Docker. I mean, look, somehow they figured out how to get hundreds of millions of dollars of funding for what is basically Chroot. Like, I want to know, I just want that formula so I can do it for my next startup. It's amazing. System D? I can't. Just full disclosure, I wrote a chapter for the Upstart cookbook. I'm super on board for System D. Like, it's definitely the best way that my machine crashes. Definitely. I don't know what that is. XML. Anything on XML is just magical. It works every time and everyone understands it. So I don't think there's any jokes we can tell about it because it's perfect. JSON, I mean, is anybody else annoyed that you have to tell Vim to format your JSON as JavaScript, and then you start thinking about JavaScript and it's just sad again? I don't know. PHP. I already had one where I just pointed at the language and said it's a joke, right? I did that one, right? Right? You did that one? Okay. Well, imagine that again. I mean, PHP has taken so many years off of my life. It's the culmination of like, how do we like use all the RAM on the servers and ship like impossible to read code PHP? Zabbix? Does it still exist? I'm sorry if it's like super thriving or anything. I just forgot about it 10 years ago. Agile? Oh, that's near and dear to my heart. It's really fun to have a framework for how companies should work so that you know how much your company isn't agile. All right, I think they're going to drag me off. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.